it's not healthy. You clearly internalize it a lot, which is probably why you are digging your heels in and continuing to talk about the things that people are complaining about, which on one hand, good for you, do whatever you want, but on the other hand, you have people depending on you. If the show is canceled, every single person that works at that studio for A Little Late with Lily Singh loses their job. The fact they placed you at Siren Studios away from NBC Studios alone should show you that you are erasable. If you're not making them stupid amounts of money, they will just get rid of your show. It doesn't matter what The Atlantic or CNN says about you, because the critics are not the people watching 90% of the time, and your viewership is dwindling, and I don't know what else to say, and I honestly don't even know why I'm bothering to say this, because your show is done taping for season 1. The damage is done. The episodes are shot. I hope your show is picked up for season 2, but I hope it's not if you don't get it through your head that there are people depending on you, and this is not all about you. If she sees this, well, first off, you're not going to see this. Hi, I'm nobody. If you see this and you do think it's a mean video, that would be your biggest critique. Is like, who is this person making this mean video about me? I'm nobody, and that's fine. But I hope you get it through your head. I went to 4 tapings of your show. I talked to some of your crew members. They all seem lovely, and those are people that will lose their job once A Little Late with Lily Singh is canceled. Every time someone asks me, what do you think of the show? I would answer the same thing. I'm excited to see her grow. And it's true. I want you to do well not only for other YouTubers, but also for other women in late night, for other LGBT, for other women of color. Lily, I hope NBC gives A Little Late with Lily Singh a second chance. I don't think they will, but if they do, I think you need to look at the possibility of needing to do a remake. But it's also pointless for me to say that, because you getting a second season will just reestablish in your mind that, oh, what I've been doing is fine, because clearly that's what got me a second season, so I just need to keep doing what I've been doing. Lily, you're not the first person who's tried to do something outside of YouTube. And the reason a lot of them are able to start to try and do that is because they have what can get them in the door. They've got the well-known face, they've got the numbers, but they don't have what it takes to keep them in the room. Show me why you deserve to stay here. The door was open, you skipped some steps, you built an empire out of a YouTube channel. From nothing. From a camera in your room. Lily, I think you clearly have what it takes to get you in the door. I think you also have what it takes to keep you in the room. But you are so focused on what got you in the door, you don't want to explore what possibilities could keep you in the room. And I know this sounds like a weird think inside the box analogy, but that's not what I'm talking about at all. NBC will cancel your show. There's going to be backlash, like, oh, they canceled it because I'm a woman. When this entire time, there's so much evidence that the reason people stop watching is because the show is not funny. The show is not entertaining. It's hard to sit through some of these interviews because they're so uncomfortable to watch. And I don't know what else to do because it's pointless. And like, we're just playing the waiting game now. We have no idea what's happening next. Lily could see this video and be like, oh my god, I've seen the error of my ways. What is she gonna do? I don't know why they keep doing full weeks of repeats when I know the amount of episodes that you have recorded, but I'm assuming it's because the episodes are not good. That's it. I'm done talking about this. Once my other 3 episodes air, I probably won't do another video. There is stuff I want to talk about in those, but it'll probably just be a Patreon only thing. Did you watch A Little Late with Lily Singh? Have you been to a taping of A Little Late with Lily Singh? Has your episode aired? Do you think A Little Late with Lily Singh will get a season 2? Thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons Buffy, Samai, Jesse, Aaron, and Catherine for supporting me on my Patreon. If you'd also like to support me on my Patreon, the link will be listed down below. If you'd like to follow me on my social medias, that'll be all up here. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Can't believe I almost completely forgot about this. After the RuPaul episode, Lily announced that some of her team and some of the NBC execs made us all goodie bags to celebrate the Team Super Takeover. Let me show you guys my NBC goodie bag, which honestly, this bag kind of slaps. A Little Late with Lily Singh presents the ABC's Late Night Coloring Book. B is for Barack Obama.
Thank you for the like.
Be on this show someday.
Thank you.
Right now, he says schedule is
Hi.
kind of full. J is for Jimmy. Late night has plenty of them. Q is to quote my favorite author, dreams are made up of our potential. Oh, that's right. I said that. Did you know I wrote a book? Hashtag humble brag. Oh, speaking of a book, we also got a copy of How to Be a Boss. What do I do with it? Here's all of my wristbands. Here is the Jolly Rancher that Matthew Santoro stole me. He didn't actually steal me the Jolly Rancher. He found the bag and stole himself one and was like, does anyone want a Jolly Rancher? And I said, sure. And then he was like, oh, it's a green one when he handed it to me and then walked off. So I grabbed the blue one and then I left.
I think I made his face too far away. What link? Oh no. What link? I don't know what that means. I should probably move the eye. Modify. What link? What link? Link to what? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I hate when the ink fucking drops. Crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. Hi. Thank you. I don't know. Whenever I draw, I've noticed this. It like goes at an angle, and not the angle I ever want. You know, it's never like. I'm also drawing with pens. I don't want to use guidelines because then I'll just mess up the drawing. But I did this earlier. This one looks better. It's also two different art styles I'm trying to recreate. Crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you. Look for something else to draw. Everybody clap your hands. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I'm looking for something to...
Watch NHL games
I'll draw him.
live on a variety of networks all season long without hidden fees.
I like my sketchbook pages to be consistent. So if I draw one thing, like if I draw from pen on one like side of the paper, I got to do the whole sketch page in pen because I think it looks better. You know, I don't want to have a messy sketchbook.
That's my intro. Hey man, you're watching Small Entertainment, and today we were talking about the dumpster fire. That was Liam Payne going on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast a few days ago. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I was never a One Direction girly. I just wasn't. I was always more of a Five Sauce girl. And I didn't find 5 Seconds of Summer through One Direction. I found 5 Seconds of Summer because my sophomore year, during my dance class, a girl in my class was wearing a shirt that had their logo on it, and I was like, what's 5SOS? And she looked at me like I had shot her mother, and then forced me to watch a bunch of videos of them and such, and I was hooked ever since. The rest is history. It's funny that this happens now, because in my music marketing on TikTok video that I put out a little while ago, I mentioned about how I was in high school during the toxic fandom years, the fandom wars or whatever, of the obsessive fan bases of, say, One Direction and 5 Seconds of Summer. And sure enough, a few days later, Liam decides to go on the Impulsive podcast and drink just a little too much whiskey. And, you know, the internet has turned on him immediately. I knew the tone for the interview when it started out with Liam already being on the Impulsive set and Logan coming and being like, I'm sorry you were waiting. This was recorded when they were doing VCon, which was a Web3 NFT convention 2 weeks ago now, I believe. Liam and Logan both spoke on a panel, and apparently Logan and Liam have been talking about getting Liam on the podcast for a little bit, and then since they were both at this event and they had the Impulsive setup, they were like, let's just do it. So Liam showed up on time, and Logan showed up late, but Liam being on time, he was joking around, talking with people, drinking a little bit. He was already pretty much finishing off a whiskey by the time Logan got there, and then he just kind of kept drinking. Logan talking about how Liam owes him money, or like you cost him money or something.
I think you might have just cost us, okay, a couple $100,000. Send me the bill. Invoice me. Hey, whoa. That's the Tony Stark maneuver.
Now, I personally think it's one thing to have Tony Stark be your favorite character. I think it's another thing to personally identify with Tony Stark. Don't ask me to explain it. I was like, oh, okay, we're putting himself on Tony Stark's level. That's where we're starting out this interview. Good to know. A bunch of things were said in this interview that fans took an issue with. Watching this full interview, there was a lot here that I really was interested to hear, and I wanted to be expanded upon. Prior to this interview, Liam was not really on my radar in the way that I think he really wanted to be on my radar. Not that he wants me in particular to be on my radar, but I'm just saying, like, in general, this is how he wants to be perceived by the general public.
I can move this, like, right here.
Obviously, my friend called me crying when they went on their hiatus, and she knew the writing was on the wall and they were never going to get back together. She's a hairy girl, so she's doing great right now. I knew that he had put out an album that was a bit of a mess, in my opinion, particularly his song Both Ways. As a bisexual woman, I had an issue with it, and so I was just like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna, consume his music, listen to his music. That's just my personal preference. I'm not gonna do it. And he was on my radar as well because he's been like, what's the word? Cozying up to influencers, TikTokers, for a while now. He released a song with Dixie D'Amelio. He was making a lot of TikToks with a lot of influencers a little while ago, and I was just like, what are you doing? I'm not trying to disparage TikTokers in any way. That's not what I'm doing. It's just an interesting choice to do. Like, you have someone like with the
guess who's back, guess who caught.
potentially is seeing, marketing on TikTok and having to resort to TikTok as backsliding, and then Liam kind of seeing this as like, yeah, they seem cool. Like, let me see what I can get from this dynamic. Not to say that he's using them or anything like that. Who knows what he's doing? But that just seemed like an odd choice to me, especially when, the people that he was hanging out with, were much closer to his young fiance Maya's age. And again, she's young. There was some speculation on how old she was when they first started dating, and I do think that that's personally, from what I've seen, I think maybe it was PR at first or whatever, and then they actually got engaged. I don't know. It's up for debate. But currently, Maya Henry is his ex-fiance. It's seemingly publicly cheated on her. He went to like a party, got a little drunk, posed with someone, posted a photo. It looks so much like Maya that fans were tagging her in reposts of like, Liam posted a photo with fiance Maya, and it's not her. She had to comment, "Hi, I'm sorry, that's not me," and it's like really heartbreaking that I keep getting shown these photos. That's mortifying. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at Maya. The situation is insane. And anyway, it was not Maya in the photo, and their engagement is now broken off. And we'll talk more about that in a second, because this might be continuing on. My point is with bringing up, Liam's recent actions with cozying up with content creators.
Only one good one.
I'm surprised it took this
That
long
always
for him to do
sucks.
the Impulsive podcast. Maybe he is
Oh,
as
well.
busy as he says. He is a dad. Claims to have
Can't
all these
grow if you don't
businesses.
fail.
Who knows? And
Bye.
apparently he's really into Web3.